What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Surfing the Stream, where every week we're on a quest to find out what is the greatest movie of all time. I am Matt Primo, joined by Josh Primo.
What's up, bitches?
This week we are returning with a review of a movie that I have long wanted to review. I used to love it. I mean, I still love it, but I watched it as a when does this movie come out? In 2006. So 16 years old. Fucking loved it then, and I've been eager to review it now and really see it in the reviewers, the critique side of things, and be a little bit more critical of it and see if it's as good as I remember it to be.
That was
And
a critique.
critique.
You said a critique.
I said critique.
No, you didn't, motherfucker.
I said critique, motherfucker. Fuck you. I'll die on that hill.
Hell, you and your critique.
Dude, just making up shit now. he can't make fun of me about anything, but he just makes up shit now.
That's a fair critique.
But the good thing about this review, or this critique, as they say, is I didn't really give Josh an opportunity to say no about this review. So I'm definitely interested in hearing what he has to say, because this is definitely, to me, not in his realm of genres that he likes. It's got magicians in it. It's got magicians in it. And that's usually not in his wheelhouse. So definitely eager to hear his thoughts on this movie. But before we jump into the review, if you like what we're doing here and you want to consider supporting us, go to patreon.com/2game. That is the number 2. Supports at any of those tiers, and you get access to our Discord, which is where all the fun and shenanigans happens. And we also have a merch place, or merch store, I guess is a better way to phrase that. All those links are down below. All of our social media accounts down below. Click those links. Go follow us, subscribe, like us. The whole fucking 9 yards. Go do that. We would greatly appreciate the support there. And then obviously the Patreon link is down below as well. If you are listening to this in audio format, you can go to the YouTube link down below as well, and it will take you to the video format. And then vice versa. If you're watching this on YouTube, it'll send you to Spotify, where you can get the audio version only. So enough of that bullshit. It's time to jump into.
Hey, I got a t-shirt idea.
Is it wet?
Surfing a stream. Movie critique.
No.
Fuck you. That everybody else is like, fuck yeah.
They're all like, I don't fucking get it.
It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to get it. You're the only fucking people get it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna chalk that up to a fail.
Yeah, fuck you.
Or
how about this? Movie critique, and then on the back it says hashtag go fuck yourself.
I like the hashtag go fuck yourself.
I find that mildly inappropriate.
Maybe not the best advertisement out there, but all right. So The Prestige, we watch this on Vudu, but it's also on. I think it's on HBO Max. It's on a surfing. It's on a streaming site somewhere. I forget where it's at, but I watched it on Vudu. Did you watch it on Vudu?
Yeah.
The Prestige. After a tragic accident, 2 stage magicians. I can't fucking talk tonight because I'm saying critique and shit. In the 1890s, London engage in a battle to create the ultimate illusion while sacrificing everything they have to outwit each other. This movie was directed by Christopher Nolan, and I'm trying to think. Other than the Dark Knight trilogy, I haven't reviewed any of his other movies. He directed Dunkirk, which we did a part of the war movies in July a couple years ago. We didn't review it, but we talked about it on the top 10 episode. He also directed. Oh, actually, I take that back. I did review the movie Tenet. He also directed a movie Oppenheimer, which just came out this year. Memento, Insomnia, Inception, and Interstellar. This movie stars Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, Scarlett Johansson, and Michael Caine. No, nothing.
I'm not giving you that one.
He's such a fucking dick. Such a fucking dick. This dude's so bitter.
Shoot down my fucking t-shirt idea so quickly next time.
I'll shoot something all right.
My mouth is open. I mean, you dirty son of a bitch.
The Prestige had a budget of $40 million and it grossed worldwide $109.6 million. It has a runtime of 2 hours and 10 minutes, and it was released October 20th, 2006. So jumping into the fun facts. This one is kind of interesting. The editing has 146 time jump cuts. So in which the next shot is either flashing back or skipping ahead to another time period. 146 times they did that. That's fucking crazy. That's a lot. But we'll kind of jump into that in just a second with the time period stuff. Christopher Nolan does this shit where he thinks you're a lot smarter than you are, or let me rephrase that. He thinks he's a lot smarter than you are, and he makes you feel stupid in just about all of his movies. So just a little caveat there. The initials of the main characters forms the word Abra. This was Christopher Nolan's lowest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes at 76% until it was taken over by Interstellar. Josh Hartnett was considered for the role of Robert Angier. And this is actually based on a book of the same name, although one key difference is Angier's pregnant wife survives in the book and had a miscarriage during an accident. Did not know this was based on a book. I thought this was an original screenplay, original movie, the whole 9 yards. All right. I've been waiting to hear your thoughts on it, sir.
Oh, hell.
Give it to me.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I am not sure where I want to rate this movie yet. I do have one fucking question before I interject.
All right.
Was Cutter in on it with Christian Bale the whole time?
The whole time, no.
Okay, well then, I like the movie, man. Surprisingly, I
Would you have well, hold on. Would you have hated the movie if he was?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When you said this dude directs shit and he doesn't think you're smart enough, that's me. I don't know, man. I've never liked these types of movies, but I felt like this was more on the suspenseful side of it, even though certain parts I don't fucking get. And at the end, I was like, "Oh, I'll be damned." That was like a good hour and a half payoff.
Why, thank you.
It just that it actually fucking surprised me. Not to be honest. I mean, it did.
Wow.
I don't know. This is like the toughest movie I've ever had to think about describing on why I like it versus why I don't. Now there are a couple of things I didn't like in it, but I don't know if you could tell the fucking story if you didn't cut out what I didn't like in it. But overall, I thought the actors were really fucking good together, and the story was paced perfectly, I thought, and I mean, it was a good storyline, man. I can't fault the man for the storyline.
When I pitched it to you, I said there's magicians in it, and you were like, "Oh, fuck this shit, man! You fucking know I don't like this kind of shit." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I mean, that's what it's about, but that's not really what type of movie it is. Because when you think of a movie that is, oh, this movie's about magicians and shit, you're like, bro, really? Like, there's gonna be some wizardy like Harry Potter shit going on, and that's not the case. That's not the case. It's more of a suspense movie than it is. I mean, obviously, it's a magician movie all the way through, but it doesn't play off as that with that the magician tone in other movies. It doesn't have that tone in this movie. I fucking love this movie. So I went into this movie with a different perspective. One, I wanted to really critique it a little bit, but also I wanted to start paying attention because I already knew the twist at the end. I mean, I've seen this movie dozens of times over the years. I wanted to start paying attention to the minor details and see just how well they are hiding some of this shit, or how obvious it is once you find out the twist. I'm right there with you. I think this movie, or I'm probably a little bit higher on it than you, but I think this movie is amazing. I think the acting is fantastic. Actually, I think the acting is better than I remember it to be. And we're going to dive into that in just a second, because I have something that may or may not blow your mind on this. I didn't figure it out until this watch. So you probably did not know about this.
This guy called me stupid without even fucking giving me the chance to know.
What I'm saying is, like I said, I've watched it dozens of times. I never caught on to this. I had to Google it and make sure I wasn't fucking like hearing shit wrong.
Well, I appreciate you calling me stupid nicely.
Yeah. I try my best.
This guy's like the fucking director. You're too stupid to watch this movie.
You're too stupid to review it.
Nobody likes your critiques.
But I like you said, the pacing I think is really great. They do a very good job of really setting up the story early on and getting you invested with the characters, which from that point on, you're kind of just fucking hooked, And I think the twist at the end is very good. Is very good. Even after watching it dozens of times, that twist is still pays off in a great way. And what's even better is like I said, following along with it and seeing the minor details of, okay, they're planting the seeds here and there to kind of point you in that direction. But yeah, dude, I'm interested in jumping into this a little bit more.
I got a couple of questions. I got a couple of questions is where I want to start.
All right.
Was Alfred banging Robert's wife? So Christian Bale's character, was he banging Hugh Jackman's wife in the very beginning before she even died?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
They never allude to that.
The way they look at each other kind of made me think that.
She was
like,
man.
"Oh, you can tie your knot however you want." I was like, "Well, you dirty sailing bitch here."
I mean, the way I see it, man, all those characters, I'm pretty sure all of them want to fuck each other. Like even the dudes, like I'm pretty sure everybody in that movie just wants to fuck. Like that's how good the chemistry is between all those actors.
Did Christian Bale's character always have that double the entire movie? And so he was from the beginning to the end.
Yep.
Okay. When did Cutter join the side of Christian Bale and not Hugh Jackman's character?
So it's towards the end of the movie. The very end of the movie. So obviously the big act happens. He falls into the water. Angier falls into the water. He dies, and then that's when Borden gets blamed for his murder, right?
Yeah.
So Cutter thinks he's dead, but I'm curious to know if he ever thought that Angier was still alive, because he didn't seem too surprised when he showed up at that dude's house. and saw him alive. So I'm one
Yeah.
that is one question that I have is, does he actually think that dude is dead? But at the same time, I don't know if he could wrap his head around, real magic, so to speak. So when he shows up at the house and Borden is in jail, that's when he flips. That's when Angier says, I'm gonna let him die for this. He fucking kind of owes me for this, And Cutter doesn't agree with that. That's when he flips.
The brother that got executed, which one was that? Was that the one that loved his wife and loved his daughter, or the one that really didn't want him?
That I think it was no. I think he loved the other girl. The
Okay,
one that
yeah, that's
lived, I want to say the one that lived loved his wife.
all right. And what the fuck was the deal with all the top hats?
I mean, it's the fucking what 1890s?
No, not on their heads, you dick nugget. When he walks
Oh.
outside after, why do all these motherfuckers have top? The guy said because it's the 1890s. What's the deal with all these horses?
So the top hats, that's just essentially saying when he goes out into the field, he finds out that, okay, the machine has been working. It's just not working the way that they intended it to work. It's actually creating clones of that hat. And it's so essentially it is the transporting man because it sends the hat somewhere else.
But then in the end, he doesn't use it anyways.
What you mean?
Right? When he transports out, he falls into
No. It
the fucking
clones him.
water.
It clones him. It creates two
Uh,
copies. So it sends him way up into the stands. Someone stays right there where it happens.
yeah.
So it creates a copy and sends it somewhere, but he stays right there. So he developed a switchboard underneath that when it went off, he would fall down and the clone would die, and then he would be up there.
Well, that makes a lot more fucking sense now.
And that's when
I
he
told
was
you I
saying,
wasn't smart enough to watch this.
and that's when he said, "You know how hard it was to not know if I was going to be the one in the box or the one bowing."
Totally didn't fucking understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was creating a clone of him, and he never knew whether he was going to be the one that was drowning or the one that was bowing.
Oh, well.
That fucking dark.
Man, talk about fucking 50-50.
Right. So one of the things that I noticed on this watch through, it's you have to be fucking paying attention to catch this because I've never caught it before. So Borden's character and then his brother. What the fuck was his name? It's Borden and I can't fucking think of his name. Shit. Anyways, the brother. The two that are the same looking, okay? Christian Bale's character and his brother. Christian Bale is obviously playing both characters. When he is the brother, you can hear it every so often. It's almost kind of like when you're watching a movie and someone who is like British accent kind of fucks up and says like something in American a little bit. The brother tries to do a British accent, but he talks American at points in this movie, and that's the fucking brother. That's how you can tell the difference between the two.
Oh, fuck. I'd have never picked up on that.
Yeah. I heard, I was like, that sounds like his Batman. That sounds like Bruce Wayne voice right there. His American
I
voice.
never even fucking picked up on it.
And I kept watching it a little bit more. I was like, okay, this is British all the way, but Christian Bale is a really fucking good actor. He wouldn't just swap between two accents all willy nilly. So I googled it, and showed enough, he when it was the brother had the American accent, and it was when it was actually Borden, he had the British accent.
That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah, just just that little thing to kind of throw you off. And then
That's
also,
fucking.
the whole "I love you." No, not today. That was
Yeah,
when it was that was when it was a different brother.
yeah. Well, I picked up on that one after we figured out we had two, and I was like, oh well, that's why he didn't love his wife every day. I
Yep.
mean,
She knew. So when
oh, she knew, but
she
she could
found
never
out.
tell who.
So
Fuck.
do you know when she has that little blow up with him and she's like, "I know what you are"? That's when she fucking finally figured it out that it was not the same guy every single time.
Ah, how fucked up is that your twin bangs your wife?
Right. Another thing was when he gets his fingers shot off, and then it's like it jumps to the next scene, and then the old girl's like, "Man, why are you still bleeding? This happened a long time ago." Well, that's because it literally just happened for that character. That's when they
I feel
went
like I
back and
should.
cut. That's when they went back and cut his fingers off. So that was when the brother showed up.
Man, that's fucked up. I never would
And
have picked up on that. That's that makes sense though.
mm-hmm. And
I
then
wouldn't cut my fingers off for you though. I can tell you that.
fuck you.
I'd be like, bro, you're just not gonna be as good of a magician as you thought.
You know what? I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm not gonna take that further.
I had more with it, but I felt like I should hold some close, and I was like, you know what? We'll leave it at that.
I'm having that itch. I don't want to fucking say it. We gotta go. We gotta go. I'm just saying I know why his wife ain't happy about it. All right, we'll keep going.
No, I'm starting to think we were thinking opposite things now, but that's
I
cool.
was thinking
We'll
I was thinking about
we'll talk about that. We'll talk
I
about
was
that
thinking about
later.
finger blasting myself.
Not where I was going with that. But I do see your concerns now.
Yeah, I don't even know where to go after that.
Do you find it fucking weird though that Hugh Jackman's character was always behind everything he did? Christian Bale did it better,
you
and
know,
then Christian, like he lost his wife. Christian Bale got a wife and a kid, and it just seemed like the whole time his character was progressing better, and Hugh Jackman's character wasn't.
well, think about it like this: who do you think is the quote unquote protagonist of the movie? Who do you think is the quote unquote good guy versus the bad guy?
I feel like it should be Hugh Jackman, but something tells me it's not.
Well, the way they portray the entire movie, they they make it seem like Hugh Jackman is the main antagonist, like he is the good guy in this entire story, and that Borden is the bad guy. That's the way the whole movie goes. And then at the very end, I don't know if this was intentional or what, but they fucking flipped it because now you kind of I mean, I'm not saying Borden didn't fucking deserve it or anything. I mean, he did fucking kill his wife, but dude goes to jail.
Can we blame him?
I shall not answer that question. You will not incriminate me, sir.
I just know every man that's listened to this podcast it went.
I respect it.
I wouldn't convict if I was on a jury.
So the movie makes you think it's Borden's character that's the good guy, and at the very end, it seems like it flips the moment Angier gets the transporting man device. And once that all that gets set into motion, it seems like it flips, because at the very end, I don't know, they just make you relate to Christian Bale's character more so, because he has a daughter. Then it was his brother that died, and all this stuff. So to me, it seems like it flips at the very end.
Yeah, you do start to care for it because you do see the interaction with him and his daughter more, and I don't know which way to feel about the whole the other girl. What was her name? The one that started with Hugh Jackman and then went over to see if she could steal secrets from
Yeah,
Borden.
yeah, Scarlett Johansson's character.
I could never knew how to feel about that person. I couldn't, because she was always like, "I'll make him believe it," and then you're watching it, I'm like, "What a dirty slut."
Olivia is her name.
Yeah, and then it makes you feel bad for Hugh Jackman because you're like, damn, he lost his wife and he fucking lost his damn other chick to the same damn dude. That's bad luck.
But back to your point of he's always one step ahead. It does seem like he's one step ahead, but if you think about it, and usually it's Borden that kind of Borden is the he antagonizes a lot of it. So he creates a moment, and then Hugh Jackman usually falls behind of it and then retaliates in some way. So, but yeah, to your point, it does feel like Christian Bale's character Borden is always one step ahead of him, and he even says at the very beginning that he wants to have the greatest magic trick of all time, and you know shit like that, and he's actually doing it the entire fucking movie.
And let's not bypass the fact. Oh fuck! I completely fucking lost my train of thought there. Oh yeah. Let's not bypass it. These two motherfuckers are arch enemies, and they can't spot them out of the crowd whenever they're fucking taking volunteers. They're like, that fucking beard was oddly nice. How did he grow it? I mean, that was their disguise, and neither of them could fucking pick it out.
Or, wow, that is like the most hideous mustache ever. That looks fake.
This guy's wearing a top hat.
But I'm glad you brought that up, because after about the third time that they get fucked, you think you'd be like, hey guys, when you go into this fucking audience, okay, I need you to look for this guy and do not pick him. Like, nobody fucking learned their lesson.
No, and they were like standing right next to each other. Do I know you from somewhere? Oh, you got me.
Just like when he goes to shoot him with a gun, it's like at the last second, he's like, "Oh fuck," and he just shoots him.
Yeah, like he was gonna catch a bullet anyways. Like, I mean, that was a stupid joke to begin with. I mean, a trick.
Well, this is serious, Sarah. This is people can get really hurt with this. People can die.
Yeah, I'll tie a fucking sailor's knot.
Which one was it? I don't know. How could you not know? Like, I'm with Hugh Jackman on this. How could you fucking not know?
I mean, I can't fault the man's logic. How the hell do you?
I can never
I
know.
still think.
What?
I still think they were banging.
I don't know. I maybe from the look, yeah, but they don't allude to that any other way that I'm aware
Yeah,
of.
they do. Yeah, they do. That bitch is
They,
all over his knot.
it's a wet knot. I don't feel like I should have to explain this, but that's funny because that's actually said in the movie. But whatever.
Oh yeah, it is, huh?
Yeah, because
I was thinking it was wet
that's
for all the wrong
no, no, no,
reasons.
no, no, no. It's twofold, sir. It's twofold.
I'm not smart enough for this joke.
No, when he's talking about the knots, he says that's a wet knot. So it's a twofold. It's
Yeah,
not
I
even
got
fucking
it.
funny anymore. It's not even fucking funny anymore.
I got it now, dog. This guy called me stupid again.
Oh, but man, fucking love this movie, man. I can watch this movie all the fucking time. The characters are great. They each have like a different personality, and I love that the obsession between the two of them to be the better magician, and how they're always trying to fuck each other left and right. And the suspense is just there the entire movie. And you don't really know that there's a twist coming until it fucking happens, which is great. I mean, that's what makes a great twist. A great twist is you're not expecting it. And even like I said earlier, even after watching it multiple times, that still has great payoff at the very end. And I'm not crazy about the acting from Christian Bale at the very end. It kind of seemed I'm a huge Christian Bale fan.
Hmm.
It seemed he kind of like phoned it in a little bit at the very end. But other than that, that's really the only time that I had any issues with the acting. From top to bottom, it was really great. Hugh Jackman, I mean, he's usually great in everything. His movies, not so much. But him himself, usually pretty great. Uh, the score was great. Cinematography, really fucking good. But yeah, man, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that you use twist like 7 times in that one sentence, but that's cool.
I'll give you a twist.
Okay.
Oh no.
Please.
Don't do that.
I did enjoy the twist of this movie, man. You know, a lot of times you see it coming, you're like, they're gonna flip it on us, and I was totally caught off guard. I was not expecting that type of twist on this movie, so I appreciated that fact in the movie
What
because
would you
nothing blows more than you fucking watching a movie 10 minutes in, you already know what the fuck the twist is gonna be.
that's another good thing about the movie is and Chris Nolan does this in a lot of his fucking movies where he plays around with the timeline a little bit. So they start off the movie with kind of how it ends, and it still gets you at the end, man. Which is, I don't know, that to me is just great storytelling when you can tell the end of the story at the very beginning and then keep it suspenseful the entire time and still have that twist at the end.
Yeah, when you said we were gonna hold on, my phone's dying. I
Uh-oh.
think this guy would learn to plug his fucking phone in.
You would think. We've only been doing these reviews for fucking 2 years.
Your mom goes to college. When you mentioned this movie, you said a suspense and something else on it when you texted it to me. And then I got the movie and I was like, motherfucker straight up just lied to me. There's no fucking way this is going to be a suspenseful movie. And I mean, I was pleasantly surprised on it. I think it had
Hey,
more suspense than some movies in the suspense category.
that is very true. I will agree with that. Um,
And it's that great suspense where it's a slow build up to where you don't know what's coming versus you get 30 minutes of suspense and then you're like, oh, I already figured it out.
that to me is just the hallmark of a good suspense movie. Like, and I was actually kind of talking about it on the Two Game podcast here recently, where it was one of those things where we were talking about the Batman, how it plays off as a lot of influences from the movie Seven, which is a great fucking movie, by the way, if y'all are into suspenseful movies. Um, that movie, like I said, has influences from Seven, which is a very, very suspenseful thriller, but the Batman is lacking the suspense in it. So this movie, for all intent and purposes, I think it does a great job of keeping your attention throughout and keeping you on the edge of your seat, even when it's not like something's happening every 5 seconds in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Well, what would you end up giving this movie, sir?
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think you talked me up. I think I'm gonna put it on a 4. Especially with that. Uh, I can't fucking think of anybody's name today. Uh, Christian Bale's character, like you said, he was switching off and on from the British, so you'd know it was the difference. And just some of the other things that we've discussed that I didn't catch. I mean, this movie's pretty deep. You are correct. You have to pay attention to it. I think it's a great watch. It's paced perfectly. It's very suspenseful. I mean, you won't get the twist unless you like listen to the podcast first. Then you'd be like, a bunch of dicks.
I guess we should probably live with that.
but you know what? It's been since fucking 2016. Fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's been
But
out for fucking 17 years. So,
but we mean that in the nicest way possible.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually, like I said, I've watched this movie since it came out. I really do love this movie. It's one of those movies that I can watch on a consistent basis, once a year kind of thing. I'm gonna give it 5 stars, man. I think it's
Oh,
abs I think it's absolutely great.
this guy went balls deep with it. Damn it.
Oh, I don't get to do it very often, sir. I decided to go balls deep
Yeah.
this time.
I seen you grinning. You was like, I'm the man.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
far as how much I would pay for this movie, so like I just said, 17 years since it came out. So y'all know my opinions about that. Um, if you can get this movie $10 or less, I think that's a great price. Anything above that is a little too much, I think, just for how long it's been out. But at $10, I think it's a great price for it. To be completely honest with y'all. But yeah, y'all let us know in the comment section below, or go to our Facebook page and let us know what you think about The Prestige. Is it one of the best movies that Christopher Nolan has ever directed? I have it currently at number 3 on that list. Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and then that one's number 3. So yeah, I think it's one of his best movies for sure. But guys, that is
I
going to be it. Do what?
want to ask you one question real quick.
All right.
The budget on this was 40 million for the movie.
Yes.
I must say 85% of that was actors.
Oh, absolutely. But
Because there's some big motherfuckers in this movie, man.
what's crazy about that is, if you go, like, this movie is not even that bad. If you go look at like Inception, Tenet, Interstellar, like actors really want to work with Christopher Nolan. Like, they love working with him. So I don't know, it's some form of slut magic or what he does. I don't know if he pays them less just because they want to be directed by him, or if he can skimp on everything else because he doesn't. I mean, he does mostly practical effects on just about every single movie. He hates doing CGI and visual effects. So maybe he can skimp on money there and just pay more for the actors. I don't know, but
But
yeah.
it's not often you get a star-studded cast line and it turn out to be as good of a movie. Because a lot of times I'll pick a movie, I'm like, dude, there's like 9 people we know in here, and it's shit. So
I
it's
wonder why that is.
I don't know. I just caught my attention a second ago, and I was like, there's a lot of big names in this movie.
Yeah, I've always wondered that. Is it kind of like like maybe you have too many characters in one movie and it just kind of falls flat because you're not developing any of those, or is it just kind of one of those things where you're putting so many characters in here, it's kind of hard to give everybody ample amount of screen time. I don't know, man. I guess I never really thought about it.
Hmm.
But guys, that is going to be it from us. And next week we are reviewing what the fuck was the name of that movie? A Bronx Tale?
A Bronx Tale.
A Bronx Tale. Never fucking heard of it, guys.
Bronx, bitches.
I do know that Robert De Niro's in it, so I mean it can't be. Oh, let me rephrase that. It has old Robert Robert De Niro, like years ago, not like old Robert De Niro now. So I mean, it can't be bad. Okay, it can't be terrible with him in it, right? I mean, we'll find out.
I'd
But y'all
name
go ahead
him.
and watch that, and we will catch y'all next time on another episode. Latest.
Latest.